Well, howdy, folks. Sorry I never got an update for the June 5th trash car race. Went well. Lizzie and I unfortunately got screwed over in our first heats. I ended up in the wall on turn 3, and something happened with her car and it wouldn't start. She got hit, didn't even make it around the first corner on the first lap. But that's the past. We just raced last night, and we both, in my opinion, did some of the best driving we've done, especially her for it being her second race. Oh, where to start? She made it in her qualifying heat. She made it all the way to the last lap, and the guy that was ahead of her, a lap ahead, there was only three cars advanced to the feature, there was only 3 cars left, and the guy that was in first decided to push her up onto the wall as far as she would go. So she didn't get to make it. She had her chance at the feature, and the guy screwed her basically. Her car's holding up really well, actually. Unfortunately, I don't want to do the chains, but she took a good hit right here in the front, and there was a corner of piping, went up under that and pushed the radiator back, split the radiator in half. The car still drove off the track, drove on the trailer. Girl still hasn't managed to blow any tires, which is just unreal because I blow them like it's nothing, but then again, I drive a little harder than she does. But this car's actually holding together a lot better than I thought. She's taking some good hits. We've got a few dents here and there. Her rear end's taking quite a bit of hits and really hasn't moved. She's taken quite a few drive wheel hits and nothing. It just keeps pushing the fender in. She did awesome. I'm proud of her for her second ever race. She's definitely slowly figuring it out, and that makes me happy, of course. There's not too much to say about hers. Yeah, she's got a busted radiator. That's really it. We're going to get a new one, slap it in, and call it good. And then, hey, there's the Buick. Still debating if I'm going to run it this week, or this 2 weeks, I think, the 26th. I'm still debating. Some of me just wants to get rid of it and start the next car build, but I don't know yet. Because I need that metal for the station wagon, because I don't want to buy new metal, but we'll see. So, the Saturn. I will continue to call this car Old Faithful, and you'll see here soon. So, really nothing's changed in the front end. I mean, the hood's pushing down on the passenger side, just folding. Bumper's starting to push up. Kind of see right there, it's starting to kink right in there. Other than that, it's doing pretty well, I think. I'm actually going to end up moving my battery because I don't like where it's sitting. And I need new fuel line because this one, my return line leaks like no other. And if you've never seen my car in person, which I know a couple of you have, it backfires like no other. We got to the race, parked it a little close, and you'll see why. They made me pull off the rest of the door panel. No big deal, I don't care, it was coming off anyways. I had a broken seatbelt for the last 3 races. I'm just gonna ignore that. Rear end still looks the same after 2 races. Actually, no, that's a lie. They're actually flattening the back end of it out. So when I bought this car, it had been rear end on the passenger side. A girl was going through an intersection, and she was hit. Well, it pushed it all in, hence the kink in the bumper. Well, people keep going for that rear end to hit me and put me on the wall. It ain't working. In the end, it's actually just straightening the bumper more and more. I can't tell anywhere else where the car's creasing or bending. This stuff on that side is all from me. Same with the trunk or the deck lid. But it's a tank right now. It continues to go and go and go. We didn't realize it until yesterday, about an hour before the race. At some point, I blew the belt on the car. So, who knows how many races I've been going without Well, I don't need power steering, but no water pump, no alternator, nothing like that. Luckily, the heats are only about 3 minutes at the most, so the car doesn't really have that time to warm up, except for the time I'm running. This tire, if you can even see that, if it'll focus, I've decided to put an actual tire on it. It's flat now. I think it just popped off the bead. But this tire was from the front end last weekend, and there was some really bad ruts or potholes on the side of the track around turn 2, inside of turn 2. And while I hit them, it bent the inside of the rim. No big deal. It still popped on the bead. It tore up the tire a bit, but anyways, I figured I'd put a tire on it, see if it did any better. And I actually put some actual terrain, like all terrain tires on the front. I blew one of them, but this one didn't realize it. With just having that rim and flat tire on it for 2 or 3 races now, it's actually kicked the wheel out. It's kind of hard to see. It's kind of actually straightened itself out. But, I mean, it definitely helped not having that rear tire drag. We did figure out shortly through, at least what we're thinking. His car felt like it was kind of sluggish. Well, not even halfway through the second chance heat, because I didn't make it to the feature, because we had some issues with the driver that wasn't supposed to be in that heat, but he qualified, so I don't remember what they did with him, but I know he wasn't able to race in the feature. I think they put him in the second chance, but halfway through the second chance, it was down to 4 of us. I took first, and I think it was lap 4. There was only 7 laps. No, there was 6 laps, and I think lap 4, suddenly the car just takes off. I don't know what. I think the rear brakes were locking up from being over the winter, and they finally broke free. Because, I mean, it took off and it ran better than it's ran the last 2 nights. Nothing else really changed. I mean, missing more door skins. They'll make me take those off probably in the next race. So, for the big part of what's the issue. I don't know. Let me get over here. Maybe you can see. That one's sitting straight. That one's a little crooked. Yeah. In the feature, there was 8 laps, and lap 2, my car decided to go full retard, and ended up busting the tie rod. I mean, it snapped it clean, but your boy over here knows how to drive. Not really. I got lucky, and was able to keep the car going, and out of 11 cars, I took 4th. Little to no steering at all. The last corner, there was a girl on the wall, and with no steering, I ran into her, and I got stuck. I was able to back out of it and get going, but the car that was in 4th passed me. So we're going to get a new tie rod ordered for actually both sides. We're just going to replace both, being that, well, this one snapped and the other one is probably close to snapping, so I'm just going to end up replacing both. Everything else seems to be fine. From what I could see, nothing else seemed like it was broke, damaged. CV seems fine. So we're just going to get that ordered, and a new radiator for Lizzie. And honestly, I'm going to get some new tires, new rims. Definitely helps to have, well, actually I've got a rim right there. It's good, just has a bad tire. But overall, it was a great night. I met some awesome people. Lizzie and I definitely had a lot of fun just hanging out with them, even though neither of us won. Yeah, it's going great. I haven't made any progress on the station wagon, just haven't had time. Metal's expensive right now, at least where I'm at. So that's why I'm honestly sitting here debating, do I just run the Buick this month, at the end of the month, or do I just scrap it out and get the station wagon built? It's kind of the predicament I'm in right now. Lizzie's car, we're going to fix that. It's an easy fix. Let's see, I'll show you if I can get this thing off. Down for a moment. Okay. So, if you can see, it cracked right there. So, we're going to get that fixed. That's an easy fix. We were just going to go to the junkyard and get a radiator for it. But my local junkyard's a radiator's $40, and on Rock Auto, which takes forever to ship, but we've got 3 weeks, and it'll take about a week. It's $45, so we're just going to order the new radiator for it. Then we don't have to worry about whether it's been filled with stop leaks, it's got cracks, it's, crap like that. What else? And like I said, with mine, I'm just going to order from Rock Auto as well. With hers, I am going to pull that bumper off and either find a new one for it, or I'm actually going to make a trash car racing bumper for it. So the piping and all that, so that we don't have this issue again. Mine, I'm not even worried about mine. I'm not even going to worry about where it's, you can see it's kinked up all right there. Maybe you can see it. I don't know, but yeah, so last night, it was a great night. Cars held together pretty well for the most part. We're actually having a sticker made for this Saturn that says Old Faithful, because it has not let me down yet. I mean, it continues to go, and I probably just jinxed it, but it just goes and goes and goes. I'll try to get videos up here soon. It should be 6, I think, my first heat race, Lizzie's, her second chance, my second chance, and then my feature, so 5. So we'll see if I can get it. It causes issue when people send them to me, just because I don't have a camera to set up, so we go off of my father-in-law and mother-in-law videoing them, and then whoever else I can get videos and pictures from. But when they send it to me, it gets all screwed up. They send it to Liz or whatever, it's fine. So we'll figure it out. Lizzie's car, it's good. Buick, I don't even know. I haven't even started it. You can see it's still got a flat on it. I've got tires for it, but I live out of town during the week, like I've mentioned before, so I don't have time to work on them all the time. But I don't know. I might just fix it and run it. But at the same time, like I had mentioned, I need the metal. I gotta get the station wagon built for Lizzie and I's wedding. And then a lot of people have asked me why I'm moving away from the derbies. A lot of you messaged me on my actual Facebook and Instagram, stuff like that. The reasoning for that is because, in my opinion, there's just too many politics in the derbies. I've been seeing a lot of issues with it lately. Where I was gonna run the station wagon in a local show, and it's just their derby. There's just too much politics. This person can get away with this. This one has to cut this. These 2 guys can come in with identical cars, but this one's got to cut this and this and this, and constant arguing and people wanting to fight about every little thing. It's getting old. I mean, we had one issue, the June 5th show, so last weekend, with my car and another driver. First lap, he got turned around in turn 3, and well, in the rule book it says don't pull into oncoming traffic, especially if your driver's door is showing. Well, that's what he did, and I'm going mock Jesus on drag slicks, and I tried to pull out of it, and I hit his front drive tire, and in the end it screwed us both. It broke his tie rod, bent his strut, and his drive shaft, or not his drive shaft, but you know what I mean. His car wasn't moving, and it threw me up into the berm, and yeah, so he ended up putting a bounty on my head. Trash car promoters got that taken care of really quick, and we had no issues last night. But appreciate y'all stopping in and watching. Hopefully, well, we're gonna get cars fixed. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with this one, whether I should just run it or if I should just junk it, because it heats up and doesn't want to move real quick. So it's one of those, should I just run it and, drive the hour and a half to the show just to make it 2 minutes and then that's it, or should I just scrap it and get rid of it? I don't know yet. I'm still debating. Got plenty of tires for it. Yeah, there's quite a few, and then all my extra fuel cells I gotta get made for it. And I don't know, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I appreciate y'all stopping in. I actually also forgot, I think this finally broke. Maybe not. Maybe it didn't, but yeah, I appreciate y'all stopping in. Hopefully I'll get the race videos up here soon, and see you next time.